Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rick. Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Hope you guys are having a good day. And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know what I wanted to do for today's video. I was scrolling through YouTube, scrolling through Twitter, trying to find ideas, and I saw this video right here called How Movement Ruined Call of Duty from IM to 1. I saw the title, it immediately made me click, and I felt like it was a good idea to react to this because it's going to be one of those topics that's going to have a lot of debate within the comment section below. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It really does help me out a ton. Subscribe if you have not already, but other than that, let's get into the video.
How does Call of Duty go from this, yay, to this? Man, there's nothing I love more than relaxing on some good old Call of Duty. Okay, what the f? If you're an old school COD player like me,
so relatable.
You've had the disappointment of experiencing all the ways COD has changed throughout the years. But one of the most controversial ways is the movement. Lots of players, from 6v6 multiplayer to Battle Royale Warzone, love the way movement has evolved. But many others, including myself, hate it more than one-man army. So
before we get into this video, I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on the movement, and maybe he changes my mind when I'm done watching this. I actually enjoy Omni movement. I really do. I like being able to run left and right, run backwards. It's kind of awesome. But I will say this, the sliding is a little OP. Sliding backwards is a little ridiculous. Sliding like 20 feet is kind of nuts. But I feel like most people will agree with me on this. If you guys do, hit that like button and comment your thoughts down below. I feel like most people dislike Omni movement because Black Ops 6 added it in with very small maps. So it made it very chaotic. And you add in the small maps, you add in the crazy movement, and you add in skill-based matchmaking and terrible servers, it makes the game unplayable and makes people dislike that type of change. I really do feel like that's the reason why you can't sit back anymore and relax and play this game. If you want to do well, you have to lean forward. You have to always be dialed in, and it just gets, exhausting. It gets unplayable. That's my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think.
Break down how movement has evolved over the years and how it has ruined Call of Duty. But in order to break down the complete movement evolution of COD, we have to go all the way back to the beginning.
The Omni movement
Before COD 3, movement didn't even include a basic feature like sprinting, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah,
but when COD 3 released in 2006, that's when Treyarch introduced the sprinting mechanic, but it was later refined by Infinity Ward in the legendary COD 4. Now, as you know, COD 4, the original Modern Warfare, marks what we now call the golden era of the Call of Duty franchise. Players love this classic game, and I believe one of the biggest reasons is the innovation to movement. Introducing the sprint mechanic made multiplayer faster, which made the game more fun for players and laid the foundation for the franchise going forward.
Can you imagine playing Call of Duty without being able to sprint back in the day, like in Call of Duty 3 or whenever it was? That's insane. So, I mean, I get what he's saying. Obviously, it made the game what it was, but I don't feel like most people think sprinting made it. There's a lot of other things that make Call of Duty 4 what it is today and why it's seen as one of the top Call of Duties of all time, but let's go.
From 2007 to 2009, Call of Duty made 0 innovations to movement mechanics, and that was okay. We adapted to gunfight advantages which COD's movement mechanics enabled, such as jump shotting and drop shotting. As annoying as they could be, the developers chose to keep things simple and the players were happy. However, after 3 years of 0 innovation to movement, it was time for Treyarch to introduce something new: Dolphin diving. Dolphin diving was originally introduced to players in Black Ops 1. Although it gave no real advantages to players other than taking cover and evading bullets, it still became iconic. Just think of all the epic and funny moments made with your friends just from dolphin diving. Whether you were diving on an objective or diving off a roof, COD players loved this mechanic because it provided a new form of entertainment.
Yeah, it was actually very fun to see. Nobody really used it in, gunfights. It didn't really break anything and make it, kind of a skill gap if you dolphin dived more. Most people just did it like that, jumping out of a window, make it more fun for them. And it really didn't, create this, huge change that made it so broken. And it was actually kind of nice, a lot of fun.
Although Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer decided to leave this out in Modern Warfare 3, Treyarch chose to bring it back in Black Ops 2 due to its approval in Black Ops 1. But next year came the biggest innovation of all. Call of Duty Ghosts, obviously the greatest COD game ever, introduced the revolutionary movement mechanic: knee sliding. Yeah, this really didn't do much. It was just something cool to look at in the trailer. Okay, but seriously, next year came advanced.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind if Call of Duty went back to the Call of Duty Ghost type of sliding. You couldn't really slide cancel. It didn't really do anything except like the dolphin dive, just slide past the corner really quickly. I don't think anybody would really mind if it went back to that. It's kind of like a cooldown period in between slides. And, maybe add in Omni movement where you can literally just run left and right with that type of slide. I think most people would enjoy. It wouldn't be too cracked out. It wouldn't be too unplayable where you're exhausted facing all these movement sweat demons. I don't know.
Warfare, and boy did it ever revolutionize COD movement. This disgrace of a game introduced EXO movement, where you could double jump, EXO boost basically in any direction, and boost land, which honestly was a bit of a gimmick. Nobody cared after the first week. And oh yeah, you could slide too. Cool. Players utilize EXO movement in gunfights to disrupt the enemy's aim, dodge bullets, and disappear from the scene like Houdini, and to ultimately make you nauseous. But you see, I utilize EXO movement in a much more efficient way. I used it to quit the game, as many of us did.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I actually enjoyed Advanced Warfare. Obviously, that's the first time I ever got a scuff, and having a scuff with, you know, the double jumping was very, very OP and very broken. But I thought it was a very fun game. It was different. I think it was cool for a year, and then I think after a little while, people were like, all right, we got to get away from this. But I wouldn't mind playing this, you know, this type of game every once in a while. But again, you know, with SBMM, maybe I disagree with that. Maybe I say that now, and after I play like a couple matches, I'll be like, oh yeah, get this hell out of here. I don't know. It was a good time. I mean, but yet again, I was still younger, so I didn't really, I don't know.
After realizing advanced movement was not it, Black Ops 3 was up next, and it not only continued the advanced movement trend, it doubled down. From jetpacks and flying, to sliding like you're on an ice rink, to running on f***ing walls, one thing was for sure. Call of Duty was finding new ways to get me to quit forever. And here I am, still talking about it. I won't lie, my initial experience with Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 was fun. It was something new to learn, which temporarily kept the gameplay loop fresh.
I agree.
Keyword, temporarily. I say that because it not only grew old on the community, but it forced me to stay on the classic COD games. I understand a lot of players absolutely love Black Ops 3, but when it comes to the multiplayer experience on that game, it just wasn't for me. If I wanted to play against a bunch of G Fuel addicts flying around, I'd play Halo. But this wasn't Call of Duty to me, and I felt by implementing advanced movement, Call of Duty had lost its casual and serious feel.
He is so right in everything he's saying so far. You know, like, he literally just said what I said. Temporarily, I really did enjoy it, and maybe if I went back to it, I would enjoy it a few games, and after that, I'll be like, all right, get me off of this. So he is right. This is where they started to kind of lose their identity, and we see it now with today with all the skins and just the type of game we're playing now. The identity's lost, and that's where it all started with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Was done with it. After Infinite Warfare continued the same trend, the COD community was officially done with it too.
That's
Man,
Infinite
that game
Warfare?
was so forgettable. So that's when World War II comes to save the day. The classic boots on ground movement system returned with, you guessed it, Dolphin diving. All was right with the world again. Black Ops 4 did make minor changes to movement, which nerfed jump shotting and drop shotting, which I was not complaining about, and even added unlimited sprint to promote fast-paced, aggressive gameplay. But none of it was a game changer.
You see, like, that's not that big of a deal. Unlimited sprint, I feel like, should be in the game. You know, it is what it is. Either keep tac sprint in or keep tac sprint out, but leave it unlimited, which is awesome. It keeps it fast-paced, especially if it's a bigger map. And I wouldn't mind some nerfs to drop shine and jump shot in again. I don't think anybody really would, except if you're a full-blown sweat or somebody that loves to do that and spam it. But again, that is what I think Call of Duty should really go back to. I wouldn't really mind that. Now, again, I would love to be able to run left and right with Omni movement and run backwards, but sliding, I wouldn't mind getting rid of that, only doing dolphin diving. I wouldn't mind it at all.
That is, until the most polarizing Call of Duty arrived, Modern Warfare 2019.
Oh yeah, slide canceling, baby.
This piece of garbage changed COD movement in 3 major ways. Tactical sprinting offered faster movement speed to players with the drawback of slowing down ADS speed. Loud-ass elephant footsteps slowed the game way down because players were scared to move forward without alerting the entire enemy team. And tactical sliding was introduced. What separated this mechanic from past CODs was the ability to slide cancel, basically as many times as you wanted. The COD movement lords abused this tactic in Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone as well, and still do to this day. Black Ops Cold War took a more traditional approach with the removal of tactical sprint, and it honestly was the best movement system to me of any COD in the Warzone era. So next we have I
wouldn't mind no tac sprint in. Just decide it. Keep one certain type of movement for the future Call of Duties and don't change it. I think that's what Call of Duty needs to do. All the dev corporations need to meet and say, okay, this is the type of movement we're doing. We're doing this with no tac sprint, or we're doing this with tac sprint. Just decide instead of just switching it all the time. And I feel like that will create a base type of gameplay, and then they can focus on everything else instead of trying to switch the movement all the time. Because I feel like that does take a lot of resources, a lot of energy to figure out what type of movement you have. If you have just one base, then you can go and focus on any other thing.
Next we have screw it. Modern Warfare 2 2022. The community hated MW222's movement because of how slow it was. Players couldn't bunny hop or slide cancel or run at lightning fast speeds. You know, looking back, it sounds like heaven. But no, seriously, the movement just didn't feel as fluid as Modern Warfare 2019.
It was a little rough.
So in Modern Warfare 3, Sledgehammer undid all of Infinity Ward's movement decisions. Ultimately, Sledgehammer gave us exactly what we wanted, and it still sucked, and we still hated it. And that brings us to today, with Black Ops 6 and...
I don't know, I think MW3 movement was very solid. I think if we kind of nerf the slide cancel a little bit, but keep everything else and add maybe left to right sprinting with Omni movement, we're good. I really enjoyed that movement. I thought it was very smooth.
Warzone. I'm talking about the games that have lost
but
more than half of their player base.
We can always slow it down a bit.
If you ask COD players why this is the case, they'll tell you one of the biggest reasons is the controversial changes to movement. If there was one word that scared me about Black Ops 6, it was Omni movement. Now I can rant on and on about it, but I want you to let this clip speak for itself. Tell me if you know the feeling. Sometimes I want to like break the pitch of... I want to break the f***ing sound barrier. Thank God for Battlefield 6. So we've gone over the evolution of COD movement, and we've shown how it completely breaks down your will to live. Now, it's time to reveal how movement ruined Call of Duty. And it's very simple. Modern movement has made COD way too competitive. And I know, here come the Omni dorks. Skill issue. But seriously, hear me out. Picture yourself playing Black Ops 2 in 2012. Remember how good that felt? How orgasmic? If not, I don't know what to say to you. Subscribe to redeem yourself. But man, back on BO2, everything was right in the world. BEAVIS and BUTTHEAD were only seen on TV, FAZE was actually cool, and most of all,
FAZE was actually cool. I mean, it's not wrong.
Movement was actually
They're weirdos
normal.
now.
As we covered earlier in the video, movement has evolved to exactly what it needed to be. Call of Duty didn't try to get too cute. No wall jumping, no jetpacks, and no nut dragging.
He's actually
the biggest thing you had to worry about back then was drop shotting, but the enemies didn't burrow into the ground within milliseconds like they do in Black Ops 6. You could still compete without sinking to that level. And drop shotting. So yeah, it was simple back then.
And I feel like with the movement back in the day, you had to play a little smarter to be able to do good. You couldn't just run out, slide, jump, and slide again to get behind cover. You actually had to like make sure, okay, am I able to be able to run over here and get there before dying, or what's the case? I feel like it really focused more on how am I gonna maneuver around the map instead of just slide canceling my way to try to break the servers and break the hit detection. So it was a lot more skill back in the day, in my opinion.
Sprint, dolphin dive, jump shot, and drop shot. But here come the Omni dorks again. Oh yeah, well, you could do those things in Black Ops 6 too, on. What's the difference? Well, Omni dork, there is one big difference that changes the whole dynamic when it comes to movement in Call of Duty. Lightning McQueen said it best.
Speed. I am speed. I'm faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
Back on Black Ops 2, you moved at a normal pace that didn't require you to snort a line of G Fuel. In Black Ops 6, you sprint at the speed of light itself. And again, that is the big difference.
And what's crazy is you can actually slide faster than you can sprint. How does that even make sense?
So you now have dudes who are jumping up and down non-stop like a kangaroo on crack, dudes burrowing into the ground like the rats that they are, and dudes sliding around the map like they're on an ice rink.
Did you just see how far that dude slid? Let's just analyze this, okay? Let's analyze where he starts the slide.
Like the rats that
he starts the slide right here. It's starting to squat down. He starts to slide right in front of this little thing, and he ends right here. That's how far you can slide. Like, Jesus Christ. And it's not a cooldown period after that. You just go, go, go. Slide, jump, slide. Like, bro, it is getting sweaty out here.
Like they're on an ice rink, all at lightning fast speeds. Is it crazy to say that this is a little bit overstimulating to a casual player? Why should we be forced to play like this to have a good game? Well, you know, until we lose enough consecutive games so skill-based matchmaking can reward us with a bot lobby. Thanks, Activision. But seriously, you get my point.
It's literally the reason why Call of Duty is exhausting to play. It's why you can only play 30 to 45 minutes at the most, because it's just too much for your brain. It's too much of you having to focus in, looking at a screen like 10 inches away. And it's really, really exhausting.
I don't remember feeling genuinely overstimulated on an old COD game like Black Ops 2. The movement was slowed down enough so that I didn't feel like I was developing Gen Z TikTok brain. I could actually keep up with the game and not get dizzy.
And you could play for hours. I remember playing every weekend, no bullshit, if I didn't have any sports going on, for like 4, 5, 6 hours It was insane to think about, you know, back in the day, but it's true. I had a blast in no SBMM.
And what happens when players can't abuse fast movement tactics like nut dragging? You rely most on your gunplay, your aim. It makes the gameplay feel a lot more casual and fun, and that's how it used to be. Like, wow, you're telling me I don't have to become Sonic the Hedgehog with an AK just to go 22 and 24 in red card? But yeah, the way movement has cranked up since Modern Warfare 3 2023, all the way up to Black Ops 6 and 7, makes Call of Duty multiplayer feel way too competitive. It's one thing to have a skill gap, which is fair, and that has always existed. But as a player who doesn't give a damn about trying to go pro, this fast Omni movement isn't fun to me. It's torture. So torturous that I made an entire video on it. So let me know what you guys think about movement in Call of Duty.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great video from this guy, I Am The One, man. I really would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. If I was to give you guys, obviously before I said what I said, I really wouldn't mind getting rid of slide canceling. I wouldn't mind getting rid of sliding at all. I would like to see dolphin diving come back in the game because obviously people in war will dive, right? I don't think they're going to slide. I don't really think you can slide at all on dirt or on concrete without really fucking yourself up. But diving, it would make sense. And, you know, being able to just run left and right and have a base movement, either it's tac sprint or not, would be perfect for this game. It would make it to where you're not losing your mind playing it, where you're developing that brain rot, like he said, and you could keep up with it. You know, it's not just people sliding 20 feet across the room and jumping and absolutely shit on you because aim assist is helping them as they're moving with the jump. It's just what I think. He does have very valid points in this. Just go back to the OG CODs. Dolphin diving, sprinting, maybe sprint left and right, backwards. That's it. I think it would make the game very enjoyable. Get rid of skill-based matchmaking would make it even better. I'm telling you guys, Activision, I am a CEO, like, person that could dial your game in and make you sell some good copies. Let me know what you guys think about the movement. I didn't really think about this as much as before. I always thought about skill-based matchmaking, but the movement does add this little, you know, effect on your brain where it's just like, I don't feel like getting on this game. I really don't have the mental capacity right now after an 8-hour shift of getting on this game and sweating my absolute balls off, or seeing these people who have not, you know, gone to work at all their entire life and they're just sitting in their parents' basements sweating their balls off, and I have to face against them. So let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below. Other than that, I'm out this bitch. Subscribe to I Am The One. Everything's in the description below. Peace out. Fuck you don't.